Hello, welcome everybody. This is Maurice Parker. Welcome to the Maurice Parker channel. We talk about sports and more. And in this episode of the Maurice Parker channel, we're going to talk about week 4 of the NFL season that has concluded and week 5 that has started. First of all, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior who has allowed me to do this great stuff on this platform. I want to thank all the fans, thank all everybody who supported me, thank everybody who's done an amazing job. You guys are wonderful. Let's get into it. So week 4 of the NFL has some few interesting games. We're going to go over it. The first one was at 9:30 in Dublin, Ireland between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. The second time they've made international since 2013. This was the first regular season game in Ireland. The Steelers owners, ruins are from Ireland. This game came down to a few big plays between the teams. First was 80-yard touchdown between Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf, which was the longest play in international history. Kenneth Gainwell looked pretty good running a touchdown in. We had two long field goal. We had a field goal. The Minnesota Vikings came hot in the second half. Dylan Addison had a long reception. Peyton Willis had speeded down and tackled him down. It was crazy. Justin Jefferson was doing his thing. He had massive catches. He actually would have had a walk-in touchdown had he not slipped on the turf. The truth in this game was there was a lot of plays that the Steelers defense made. T.J. Watt had an interception. First fumble on Carson Wentz. There was another interception. Carson Wentz had two interceptions, I believe. The Vikings did make a stop. Was down. The story came down to the game of how close the game really was at the end. The Steelers improved to 3-1. Minnesota stays at, I think they went to 2-2. That they play another international game tomorrow against the Cleveland Browns. Another game that would be highlighted is between the New England Patriots and Carolina Panthers. In this game, Drake May was spectacular. The Patriots in total was spectacular. They beat the Carolina Panthers 42-10. I will say this, previously for the Steelers game, Vikings Steelers, you got to keep up the motivation. You got a bye week. You got to be able to rest, be prepared for the next week. For the Minnesota Vikings, you have to just rebound and get ready for the next game. But that's all it is it's one game at a time. Back to the Patriots and Panthers game, a kickoff return for a touchdown. It came down to Henderson was being the starting running back. It just, for New England, this is just what you got to do to get back into competition. You got the Buffalo Bills, who is a dangerous team with Josh Allen. You just got to get back into competition and take back to the fold what it takes to be a great team. Carolina, guess got to do the same thing. Another key game that we're going to talk about is the Philadelphia Eagles and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For the first half, the Eagles had dominated two plays. They did a shuffle pass to tight end Dallas Goedert. They had lined up for their famous tush push, but they gave it to Saquon Barkley, who motioned, and he ran it in for a touchdown. Tampa Bay proceeds to then starts having a great second half. A BK who played for Ohio State as a receiver because Mike Evans was out and I think Hutch Godwin had got hurt. He had ran like a 7-yard touchdown. And then they had Bucky Irvin who did a long bomb touchdown. Baker Mayfield was fiery. He did a lot of stuff competitively that you saw. He took notes. He was instrumental in keeping the teams back. He was fighting for his team, and I love to respect that. Unfortunately, he made a critical interception, and the Eagles have got momentum from there. So, but it's one game at a time. I think the Eagles should be happy to draw on this good winning streak, and I think the Eagles are undefeated 4-0. Yeah, undefeated 4-0. And for the Buccaneers, you just got to get ready for the next one. I mean, I know they was undefeated at 3-1. They just got to get ready for the next game. Another key game was between the Baltimore Ravens and Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead, and in the beginning of the game, the Ravens looked good. They had ran the ball successfully, and then Justin Hill got a touchdown. And after that, it was just all the Chiefs. Kansas City just kept back to life. Xavier Worthy, Tyreek Hill did his little bit of things. It wasn't really too much to run the game. Juju Smith-Schuster, of all people, was getting touchdowns in. Which is not a bad thing. I mean, I respect you, Juju. I know what you could do. You played for the Steelers and other teams. You did pretty good for wherever you've been and getting the 100 defense. Another thing about Patrick Mahomes, congratulations. This man has thrown for over the fastest player to throw 250 touchdowns, previously held by 250 touchdowns, previously had by Dan Marino. He should be celebrated for that. He didn't even play his rookie year. He really, except for one game. So that's amazing. Lamar Jackson unfortunately suffers an injury and is going to be out multiple weeks. He had hurt his hamstring on the one particular play. He had thrown an interception. He actually had fumbled. It was just a rough day. I think he'll bounce back. Now, the Sunday night game between the Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys was one for the ages because of the offseason. Micah Parsons, who was number 11 for the Cowboys, had played his first 4 years with them. He wanted a new contract. He was a top-notch player. Uh, Jerry Jones I guess, essentially did not want to give it to him. He ends up getting traded to Green Bay. And this was basically unique because he had he had his own little suite, I guess, for his family. But now that he's in Green Bay, I guess this was it. They played. It was a great build-up for this week. But the story of this game for me was the duel between Jordan Love and Dak Prescott, because people stepped up in ways that you didn't expect them to step up. I mean, Romeo Dobbs had 3 touchdowns. Jalen Williams had a touchdown. I mean, George Pickens went off 2 touchdowns. And this game ended in a 40-40 tie. Now that is crazy. That has never happened in NFL history. Both teams for it to end in a tie is possible because in the overtime rules, unlike college football and the NFL, if it's not playoffs, it's just a 10-minute quarter, and then both teams obviously the score's tied at 10 minutes. It used to be a whole quarter, 15-minute quarter, but they shrunk it down to 10 because of player safety. But I got to give respect. I mean, it was a great game. I mean, what I say to both teams on that one? Y'all put on a performance. I mean, it does suck that there wasn't a winner in the game, but in a way, you didn't lose either. I mean, you both tied. So what you got to do is just tip your hat and say, okay, we got to try to get the next one. Let's try to get this win. So overall, it's pretty interesting. Now, the Monday night games was interesting. Unfortunately, Tyreek Hill in the Miami Dolphins game against the Jets had to complete the catch that fell awkwardly. He tore his ACL. He had torn multiple ligaments in his knee. I'm just hoping for him to get a speedy recovery for 2026. That's so unfortunate. You never want to see somebody go down like that. I mean, in anything. But he is a strong man. He will be able to get back up. Justin Fields did an amazing job in his turnaround in his game. The Dolphins came to life and won the game. Another game that we're going to talk about briefly was between the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals. And this game was about Bo Nix was really going off. I mean, 4 touchdowns. I mean, he really showed up. I mean, masterful under 2 minutes, under like a minute or so, driving his team down the field. Those are laser to Courtland Sutton for a touchdown. Cincinnati looked good in first drive, and the problem is with Cincinnati is without although Jake Browning, I believe, because you could do it. I think what hurts the team also is the fact that Joe Burrow has been hurt with a toe injury, and I think the team just got to get the morale. But they got robbed behind. This is when you want to know your team is special. You got to rally behind your quarterback. I know we say next man up, but it's more than just saying the next person up. You got to rally around the next person because sometimes all it really is confidence. If you rally around your guy, hey, man, we got the next one. That's what they got to do. My advice to the Bengals is rally around Jake Browning. Hey, you could throw 4 and 6. We still believe that you're going to get the job done. You got to. My advice to anybody in the NFL, or if I could give any advice to any professional athlete, is rally around yourself. Believe, because you guys are doing great out there. I know that's just me just saying rally around. Believe what you can do. Do all these things. Do all the things, because the work that you put in. We only see the results on Sunday or Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, but we might not see the work y'all put in. It's the work we don't see. But you guys are great and amazing. Just continue to keep your heads up. I appreciate everybody who took time to watch the Morris Parker channel today. We definitely talk about sports some more. And I will see you guys in the next video.